Today on the show, the Orioles cut ties with Austin Hayes. What does that say about the Orioles? What does that say about Mike Elias? And what does that say about Austin Hayes? Also, the Ravens add Earl Thomas. We'll break down that deal and talk about all the latest spring training news. And best of all, it's the annual Matt's reading of the bracket. All that and more on this edition of Section 336.
Section 336, Matt, Josh, and Bert are at the game, sitting behind home plate. Let's go O's! Section 336.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Baltimore sports fans of all ages, welcome to Section 336, next generation of Baltimore Sports Talk. I am, of course, your endearingly stuttering host, Matthew Sroka. And as always, I'm joined by the zany one, Bert Rohde.
Thank you, sir. This is the second week in a row I'm coming into studio cheering for a established sports team that is not the Orioles. Go Belmont.
And the button lover Josh Sroka.
Oh, that'll be taken care of before the season starts, I'm sure.
What's that?
Belmont.
They'll be taken care of?
Yeah.
It's a good question. What's better, to have a 12 seed going in like Liberty?
Yes.
Which is a really low seed for Liberty, so good for Liberty.
Yeah, it's surprisingly, yeah.
Or is it better to be 11 seed, but you got to play to get into the 64?
That sounds like a familiar tweet thread from yesterday.
This is just a question
Right.
I just came up with.
But you'd rather be the 12 seed, right? And already be in it?
But I mean,
Yeah, I
technically,
don't know.
you are in it.
But why do you want to play one extra game?
And why is it a play-in for an 11 seed as opposed, like the play-in for the 16 seed seems to make sense.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Like, why not a play-in for the 15th seed?
Yeah. Like Temple, or I'm already assuming Temple's going to lose. Temple's going to get kind of screwed out of it because if they're going to go ahead and, for example, give Belmont the 11 seed, then why not give Temple a 16 seed instead of letting these two other scrub teams play to get in?
Well, the reason is, and Belmont's a problem here, because usually in those 11 seed games, you have big conference teams who could beat the smaller conference teams, right? And so you want to give, like, if you look at all the 16, 15, 14, 13 seeds, they're all really small conference
Garbage
teams.
schools, yeah.
Yeah. And so they never play anyone good. But Belmont's the exception. If you guys just would have won the tournament, you wouldn't even had this nonsense.
Right.
And you probably would have been a nice, like, 10 seed or something, or 9 seed maybe even. But the fact that you lost your tournament, you got to mess everything up. But that's why, because these major conferences, you don't want to put them as a 15th seed because they could, like Temple could really upset a 1 or 2 seed.
Sure. Well, and it's interesting too because in the Ohio Valley Conference where Belmont is, they lost the conference championship game to Murray State. So Murray State gets an automatic bid.
Right.
And they got that superstar, I even forget his name, Lamont something.
Yeah, it's supposed to go number 2 in the draft.
He's a big deal.
After Zion.
But Murray State got a 12 seed as well. So Belmont loses the conference
and got a
tournament
higher
and are
seed.
playing in to get the 11 seed.
Yeah, that's funny.
It's interesting.
Yeah. So if Belmont would have won, I'm guessing that Murray State would not have gotten in.
I beg to differ. I think Murray State would have gotten in because of that superstar player they got. They're going to want to showcase this guy's going to go like second in the NBA draft.
Yeah, but I feel like that's happened before with didn't Ben Simmons not make the tournament or something? I feel like this happened before. But anyway, enough small talk. Let's get into the 2019 Matt reading of the draft. There's a lot of different approaches people like to take. Personally, I like to start at the top left and work my way down and then across. So I'm at the bottom still, bottom right, and then go up.
See, I start in the middle. I pick who's going to win, and then I work their path out.
Okay, that's called backward mapping.
So I put,
we do that.
I put Duke in the middle, and then I fill up every line to get Duke there, and then work it in.
Okay, so top left, Duke versus NCC or North Dakota State. I have Duke, the Blue Devils, moving on. Going on, BCU.
Any new listener is going to think you're going to go through this whole thing. They're just going to tune out.
UCF with the big upset, 9 over 8.
Same. I got the same, yeah.
Mississippi State versus my Liberty Flames.
Time now for bold predictions.
I have Liberty Flames with the upset, of course, but I'm not a homer. I have them losing in the Final Four. I'm not a homer. Liberty will lose in the Final Four.
Wouldn't that be awful if they made it all the way to the Final Four?
Final Four.
Couldn't just pull it off.
Yeah, it's going to be. I'm preparing myself to be disappointed when we don't.
I came dressed like this tonight. I thought for sure you'd be rocking the Liberty gear tonight.
I know. You're lucky. I made this podcast. I almost missed the podcast altogether. I know. I almost did a number. Do you know what I hate? This really grinds my gears.
Okay.
And then I'll get back to my reading the bracket. When someone walks into like a meeting, I do this all the time at work, and I hate it when other people do it. They walk into a meeting like 10 minutes late, and they're carrying a cup of coffee that they bought from a store, and you're like, you got here 10 minutes late, and you stopped at a store to buy coffee. So I almost pulled that number because I got a Dunkin' Donuts coffee that I paid for. Because ever since Joe Flacco left, I always pay for coffee now for some reason. But I almost walked in here late with a cup of coffee that I bought.
I wouldn't have noticed.
Yeah, Josh would have noticed.
I wouldn't have.
I also got distracted because your girls, Josh, had to give me a whole tour of their house outside.
Oh, I told him no.
Okay.
You got sucked into that.
Well, I'm an uncle. I can't say no.
They're taking over the entire court with their chalk.
Yeah, they
There's
are.
going to be an entire welcome sign out there.
I drove right through their kitchen.
By the summer.
I drove right through their kitchen. Yeah.
They're going to get that spray that you put down to protect it from the rain.
Okay.
Take care of all that.
Moving on. Number 6,
baseball.
Maryland versus 11, Belmont or Temple. I'm picking Belmont to beat Temple, then Belmont to beat Maryland.
Same.
I'm all on board with your Bruins.
I love it.
Moving down, LSU versus Yale. Yale won't be smart enough to get past LSU. I got LSU pushing on through. Moving down, Michigan State versus Bradley.
Oh, you skipped one. Louisville, Minnesota.
Oh, Louisville versus Minnesota. I've always been a Gopher fan. Go Glen Burnie. Go Minnesota. I have Minnesota pushing through in a nail biter. That's a 10-7 upset for you folks listening at home.
Josh, I'm going to let him just keep going.
It's
going down. Michigan State versus Bradley. I didn't know Bradley was a school. I thought it was a friend of mine from college. Whatever. Go Spartans. I got Michigan State. Spoiler alert. I have them making a nice little run in this tournament. Moving down, Gonzaga versus a lot of initials. FDUP or PVIEW. Or for short, PView.
Fairleigh Dickinson and Prairie View.
Watch your mouth. We have children listeners,
I'll at least
Bert.
pull up the brackets for you.
I have Gonzaga pushing through.
Oh, cool! The viewers can follow along at home.
Right. Just right on your phone screen.
I started at my bottom left. I'm working my bottom.
Your bottom left.
My bottom left. My top left. Working to the bottom left, then going across. No, I'm not going to keep it. You guys aren't going to stop me. You guys are going to let me read the whole bracket.
We've tried over the years, and it's kind of.
My bracket reading is a really important PSA. PSA stands for Public Service Announcement. Not to be confused with PCA, which is the Presbyterian Church of America.
Right.
Or PDA, Public Display of Affection.
Or PDA. No, this is a PSA. And you know why? This is about social and cultural norms. Now, I fill out a bracket every year, not because I really want to, but because culture, societal norms say every guy's got to fill out a bracket. So I fill out a bracket. Or a female has to fill out a bracket. But can I tell you something, guys? This and fantasy teams, I got to make this announcement every year. Nobody wants to hear about your tournament, your bracket. The only people who want to hear about your bracket or fantasy team, if you're in a league with, and tell me if I'm wrong, boys, if you're in a league with other fantasy guys and you get together and you can talk about fantasy.
Remember, last week he was here talking about his fantasy baseball team.
Yeah, I was. But to talk, like if I went up and talked to my wife about my fantasy team or about the tournament, she would not be mad. She would like smile and nod. But inwardly, she'd be saying, that boy's crazy. Why is that boy, being me, talking about fantasy baseball? Or why is he talking about the bracket? He must be crazy. If you go talk to someone about your bracket, who like you're not doing a league with or whatever with the bracket, you're going to do a competition with, and you just go talk to them about your bracket, that person's going to smile and nod, but they're going to think that you're crazy.
Yeah.
So
kids,
Bert, you think we let them go long enough? We can actually start the show now.
Be socially normal and don't go telling people about who you think's going to win.
All right, we haven't turned on the stream yet.
Oh, really?
Let's start the show now.
He's
From
joking.
Behind home plate, your Orioles talk.
You already played the theme
Section
song.
336.
Am I crazy?
Generation of
I can play it
Baltimore
twice.
sports talk.
You already played the theme song.
Did none of that record? Do I have to start? I'll start at the top again.
Oh,
Duke,
no, it all recorded.
NCC
Let's just
versus
say
North
it all
Dakota
recorded.
State.
I'm confused.
It all recorded.
You better get my reading the bracket on there.
The live stream's been on this whole time.
The listeners crave for the reading of the brackets. But yeah,
whatever just happened went completely over my head.
Josh messing with me over there.
I'm setting a nice key point where I can edit before getting this show out, so we don't get complaints.
All right. Well, I'm going to keep on referring to guys. Remember how I read the brackets at the beginning of the show?
Oh yeah, that was before we hit record.
You have to edit that every time. All right. I'll come and do it next week. I'm listening. If that's not included, I'll do it next week, even though the game's already been played.
Well, I got one final point.
I'll get them all right too. I bet.
Right,
I know you just went on a whole spiel about you don't want to hear about other people's brackets,
Yeah,
but I want to share something about my bracket.
Okay. Yeah.
I have sweet revenge. I think it would just be a perfect scenario if Virginia wins the whole thing based on what happened last year, being knocked out of
With
the
UMBC.
Yeah, I think this is where they come back and make a statement. If you go from being knocked out in the first round to winning the championship the next year, I think that's what's going to happen.
I'll say this as a Liberty fan. I from now on, I always root for small schools.
Yeah,
that's
it's more
my new
fun.
rule. Root for small schools.
And as a Belmont fan, you should be excited that you're going up against Maryland.
Oh,
all they do
thrilled.
is crap the bed in big games.
I am so excited.
Yeah.
I keep thinking tomorrow night's a foregone conclusion, but it's not.
It's not
Temple's a good team.
solid.
They could definitely beat Belmont.
They're like the 67th best team in the country.
But I really, really, really want to see Belmont
Right,
play
right.
Maryland. I think it'd be awesome.
yeah, I think that'd be awesome too.
It'd be fun.
Yeah, I mean, Maryland is a better team than Belmont. But you're right. Maryland just lost to Indiana, and I don't know if Belmont and Indiana are probably on the same page.
Who knows?
We'll find out
That's
soon
the
enough.
thing. Literally,
No one knows.
no one knows because literally no one's gotten the bracket right,
And-
even close to right in the
Right.
history. And so experts come in, and experts seriously say who's going to win each game.
Isn't
Nobody
it-
knows. It's a freaking lottery.
Isn't it silly that millions of people fill out brackets every year with no chance of getting it right? Yet we all still do it.
But it's still worth certain points if you get certain predictions correct. I
Yeah.
mean, there's still you want to get it perfect, but nobody ever will.
I feel like I have a better chance of winning the Powerball than winning any of those. Perfect bracket gets you $1 million.
But yeah, and whatever, and I filled it out too, or I will fill it out. But what gets me is people who are like, kind of brag about their sleeper. Hey, listen, you know who really is going to do some damage?
Yeah.
No one's talking about them, but Iowa is just going to blow up and surprise everybody.
There's
no
no
one.
such-
It's chance. It's buzzer beaters. It's
And there's-
madness. No one knows.
And there's no such thing as a sleeper that no one's talking about. No such thing.
With one exception,
there's
maybe
24-hour sports TV on like 5
Yeah.
different channels.
Maybe if you called UMBC last year to beat Virginia, maybe then. But other than that, shut
Right.
up.
You know what I used to do when I was a younger man and could just go to a bar for March Madness and watch hours and hours and hours of basketball a day.
Yeah, before you had like a job and stuff.
Yeah, like an adult. I used to print multiple copies of the brackets, and I would have my one that I filled out for real, but then I'd have one that I would just fill out as the games went along so that at the end of the day, and then I'd fill in the rest with a bunch of garbage.
Yeah.
So that at the end of the day, I could say, look, I picked all 16 games today correct.
Yeah.
What are the odds? And then I'd save that
And
one
then you
and
post on
highlight
Twitter,
them.
and Twitter
Yeah.
goes
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah. I was all over that.
Yeah.
But I did it before Twitter.
Sounds like your type of move.
Yeah. My friends
have
really
you guys
like
ever
me.
have you guys ever gone to a March Madness game?
Yeah. Have you?
I did. I went to Maryland like years ago when they were in Nashville.
I was there too.
I went to the same game in like 99 or
They
98?
played
99.
UNC Wilmington and was it Xavier the next day? No, yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was 99.
And then they
I
lost
went
in the
there.
next round to Michigan State, wherever that was. Yeah, I was
Right.
there. I sat next to Steve Blake's parents. True story.
He must have been a freshman then, right?
I sat way up in the nosebleeds.
Because they won 3 years later.
Who was it? Drew Nichols hit the buzzer
Yeah,
beater
Drew
at
Nichols.
the end.
Oh yeah, that famous shot. Yeah.
Yeah. I was there for that. It was great. Anyway,
That's our tournament talk.
where did you leave off? I think you were in the southern
yeah.
region.
Moving on. Syracuse versus Baylor.
Moving on.
You know, part of the
Orangemen.
if Maryland gets to or Belmont or Liberty, aren't they all? Are they all in the same division?
Yeah, we're all over there.
they're all
Yeah.
Eastern region.
So if you get to the Sweet 16, those games are in DC.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
so
good luck with that.
yeah, not that any of those teams I think are going to make it.
I guarantee if we go to Sweet 16, I will be there. I guarantee I'll be there if Liberty gets to Sweet 16. But it's not looking good because we're gonna have to beat Mississippi State and then Virginia Tech, according to my bracket.
Yeah.
Right.
Same. I have Virginia Tech upsetting Liberty,
No.
unfortunately. Hey, aren't they next door neighbors
What's that?
geographically? Virginia Tech and Liberty?
No, I mean that's Blacksburg is Virginia Tech, not really neighbors. I don't call. them
Oh,
neighbors.
okay. I just know somebody in Lynchburg who's a big Hokies fan, so I just assumed it.
Yeah,
was
there's a
nearby.
lot of Hokie fans in
Gotcha.
there. Yeah, but the 6 seed 11 matchup and the 12-5. That's a lot of upset.
Notorious for upsets.
Notorious for upsets.
No 16 over 1 this year, though, right? Don't think that'll happen.
Highly unlikely.
All right. Can we talk, because we're going to get to the Orioles and Austin Hayes and all that jazz. But I just want to, we always run out.
Kashner looked good today.
We always, Kashner, fine. We talk about Kashner's beard and how his beard looked good.
And his belly. He's got a nice big belly this year.
Do you think he would be a great fantasy guy?
Well, he's not
sleeper?
currently. He's not on my fantasy team.
Might be a
but
sleeper.
based on his strikeout per pitch ratio today, he might be a pickup.
I'm just figuring because he's got
But of course-
crazy beer and the rugged masculinity that he could be a fantasy guy.
Oh, a fantasy guy like that. Yeah, well,
But what do you want to do? You want to get to Ravens?
yeah. I want to talk Ravens real quick.
All right.
Because I have some thoughts on this.
All right.
We got some new ones.
We lost a bunch.
True.
Yeah, we lost.
But that's old news.
Yeah, that happened the day after our show last week.
Yeah.
That's the weird thing is.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
So
yeah.
last week I ended up doing 2 film study episodes because we did one immediately after they dumped everyone on Tuesday, and then suddenly on Wednesday they made the biggest signing that they've made in many, many years.
So does Ken McCusick break down the film of the signing?
Yes, yeah, the signature and
Yeah.
left hand, right hand, yeah, exactly.
The kind of how he's sitting, his posture. all
No,
that
but
jazz.
we had very good conversations about the rebuilding of this team and how.
Oh, so
how
you
Earl
think the
Thomas-
Ravens are going into a rebuild? That's interesting. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
but-
agree with that.
It's a fast rebuild, but yeah, the dumping of all the old guys on Tuesday, they dumped all the old guys off the team.
Mosley was not old. Zadarius Smith wasn't
No,
old.
Mosley was not old.
But
Smith
those are
was not
guys
old.
they-
But
Suggs-
those guys,
Suggs-
Other teams are going to
those
overpay
guys
for
were
him.
expensive.
Yeah,
Suggs, the Ravens made the same exact deal,
yeah,
and he turned
he
it down.
chose Arizona.
Yeah, because he's a Flacco boy.
Do those moves? I thought it was a Caleb Joseph guy. Do those moves at all take you aback? Which player hurts the most leaving? You think? Which one's like
Suggs.
Really wish I didn't lose him. Suggs because
Suggs, yeah.
because of performance or nostalgia.
Both.
See,
I feel like he was still a good performer.
Yeah, the Suggs one stings a little bit, but I understand that he's going to go play 1, maybe 2 years, and then he'll be gone. It's very similar to Ed Reed.
I think one and done.
We
for
all
him.
we all
Yeah.
forget. I think it's 1 year too. I think he was considering retiring. Arizona made him this offer. He gets to go back home and play.
Yeah,
Why not experience for a year?
yeah.
I think that's all that's about. And it's going to be like in. It's
I don't really
gonna be
know.
like,
I don't know why Arizona wants him, but whatever.
right.
Good,
But it's
good for him.
going to be like Ed Reed. No one remembers that he played for like
The
the
Jets.
Jets and the Texans.
Oh, Texans too. I forgot
Yeah.
that for a second. Yeah.
No one thinks of Ed Reed that way, and Suggs is going to be the same way.
Yeah. Or like Adam Jones for the Diamondbacks.
Nada's played for like 3
Adam
teams
Jones is
since
going
the
to play a
Ravens.
few more years.
Yeah. Well, Nada
What-
left more in his prime than
Yeah.
Suggs.
Nada had a sweet retirement to get to climb Mount Kilimanjaro and then hold up a sign up there that I'm retired.
Oh, is that what he did?
That's how he announced his retirement.
I think the cuts are standard procedure for the Ravens every 4 or 5 years.
And-
I mean, everyone lost their minds when they cut Todd Heap or Derek Mason.
Yeah, they do this all the time.
Yeah, it's
And when you look at the price
what they
tags
do.
that all those guys got, I wouldn't pay that money for any of those guys.
Yeah.
C.J. Mosley got a ridiculous thing. Zadarius Smith, ridiculous money.
Yeah, Zadarius Smith got paid like a top 5 pass rusher in the NFL,
Right.
which he's not.
Right.
Mosley to me is the one that hurt the most, and like I concede that he got overpaid, but still he was a middle linebacker, kind of the leader of that defense. He's a tackling machine.
It's going to be interesting.
I was a fan of Mosley,
It's
and
gonna
he's
be-
the type of guy that the Ravens usually keep.
Yes.
A first-round pick in his prime.
Right.
We don't give those away.
Right. But I can totally understand not paying that price tag.
Yeah, I get it too. And I tell you what, for a minute I was like, first of all, NFL free agency
It's out of control.
is a lot better than baseball free agency.
Why? Because
Right?
it's all one day?
Because you got a lot of action.
It was a fun day.
You got to wait forever. And
Well-
it's weird because everyone's signing, but then no one can really sign.
Right. And then it's like legal tampering.
Yeah, legal tampering.
So like, how
not
can
even
you have
really
legal
signing.
tampering?
Yeah.
It should just be legal
like
communication.
we knew Joe Flacco was going to the Broncos like a month ago.
Yeah.
And Wednesday, then they tweet the official goodbye Joe.
So poor Josh had to cry all over again. He thought he had closure. He cried.
Right.
Then he saw a video and had to
love-
cry again.
Yeah. The Ravens did a great job with their Suggs and Flacco videos.
Yeah. This is like the new way to honor people, I guess, right?
Yeah.
For get a statue, make a nice video ad.
You see people upset at Adam Jones that he didn't take an ad out in the Baltimore Sun
No,
to thank
see, Josh,
Baltimore.
that's where you're completely wrong. And Orioles Twitter is amazing how they do this. It was one tweet by one knucklehead. One tweet by one knucklehead spread its way all across Orioles Twitter sphere, where everyone then had to make a comment on it.
I just saw people talking about it.
I was one of the first people to respond. I respond, who's that actor? He's like at the Oscars or something. I'm talking about the GIF, and he's over there doing one of those, like, bad idea.
Right.
Yeah.
You know this fat actor with curly hair? Anyway.
Jonah Hill?
Yeah,
That's
the
him.
guy?
That's him. Yeah.
Yeah, anyway.
I was thinking Hurley from Lost.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, Jonah Hill.
Right.
Yeah, I tweeted that out
Good.
immediately. Like, this is a bad idea.
Yeah.
And then,
it is.
I got no reaction from it, and I thought that's a great GIF use. Until today, and this happened yesterday. Till today, all of a sudden, it blew up, and I got 30 favorites, whatever. No big deal. But it took a while for his tweet to circulate and for everyone to see it. But everyone had to comment on it when it was one knucklehead saying
Is that what it was?
he wanted a Nick Markakis newspaper ad.
Oh. Was he the same knucklehead calling for retire Adam Jones's number or we're rioting? Was it the same knucklehead?
No, because I think that was Orioles.
Yeah, that was Sunglass Guy.
Sunglass Guy. This guy
Yeah.
is a guy we know.
Okay.
I think we know him. Tony Pente from Orioles Hangout. Do we know him?
Sure.
Okay. We have some relations
Yes,
with him.
we've talked with Tony Pente.
We've had relations with Tony Pente?
Yeah, Sunglass Guy's more of a friend than Tony Pente.
All right, fine. Well, both of them have bad takes on Twitter.
Yes.
Anyway, what were we talking about?
We were talking about Ravens.
Oh, yeah, the Ravens.
And
At first, I was in the craziness of the free agency. At first, to be honest, I was concerned.
well, it was a little scary because they cut all those guys, and suddenly we've got all these young guys with
Yeah.
no leadership.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, we're going to do. I said on film study, I said, guys, don't worry. I've got a head start on this thanks to the Orioles. They did this summer. It's time for a Ravens rebuild. What I didn't realize is the way the NFL works, the rebuild starts the next day.
Yeah, and I don't know if this is in any way a rebuild.
No.
It's not a. It's a get younger.
A retool, if
It's a
you will.
retool. Yeah.
Though this is, but see, even that sounds misleading because this is, I feel like, business as usual for the Ravens.
Build around
It is.
Lamar Jackson.
It is. But the difference is, we've never. It's been a while since we've been to this point. We were 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, I was. My concern was, and I was, by the way, I was on the train for sign Le'Veon Bell. I thought that would have been awesome, him, Lamar Jackson. But my concern was, in relation to that they were going to spend all the money on offense because the offense has been bad. And
Yeah.
the thing I love about this Ravens team, and always has, is the awesome defense.
Right.
And so I was thrilled to see them invest heavily, right, in bringing home the best free agent
Earl Thomas
safety. In
is
Earl
the
Thomas.
closest thing the NFL has to Ed Reed.
He is. He's not on Ed Reed's
And-
level, but he's
right,
the closest.
He's not, but he's the closest thing.
Yeah.
And as
Yeah.
much fun as I enjoyed Ed Reed so much, I am so excited for Earl Thomas.
Yeah, he's that type of safety, the ball hawking type of safety,
Yeah.
the playmaker that we knew this defense was lacking. So
What-
I'm really excited about the Earl Thomas.
Me
signing.
too. Because what
I was not expecting that at all.
Earl Thomas does the thing that is very similar to Ed Reed, as in he's the type of guy that the quarterbacks look for
Yeah,
and pay more attention to. And he's the type of guy who fakes you where you think you're going one way, and then he moves the other way.
yeah, and I know our offense and our defense has some holes, but man, our
Yeah.
secondary is going to be legit. That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
That's gonna be fun.
yeah.
Then they signed Mark Ingram on the offensive
Yeah,
side.
and
I do like that they added an older veteran guy, good character guy, paired up with Lamar Jackson.
I was hoping they'd go with Tevin Coleman. There was a toss up between him and Mark Ingram. I was seeing those two names thrown around.
Coleman's a little younger.
Coleman is younger. I don't know what he got. I mean, he went with the 49ers, but I don't know what the contract was or anything like that. But I'd been following him when he was healthy in Atlanta, kind of teaming up with Devonta Freeman. They were a stud backfield for a little while there. But you know, Ingram's good. Ingram had a great year. He was doing a similar thing with Alvin Kamara all year.
Right. That's true.
So he'll be the main guy in Baltimore.
Yeah, I think that, and with Alvin Kamara, the stats on the treads on the tire, how many carries he has compared to Le'Veon Bell is really interesting. Because he doesn't have a lot of carries because he was splitting with Alvin Kamara.
And that's what Ingram is going to split. He's not going to be the main back.
Oh, no, he is.
Or he's the main back, but he's not going to get every carry.
I think he's going to get the majority, though.
They're going to still split a lot. And I think there was a lot of talk about the Ravens wanted him because of the leadership and the character type guy.
Yeah. And like a short-term deal, right?
It's a short-term deal.
So
why not bring in
flexibility?
a veteran because that offense is so young?
Yeah.
And a guy who might not complain too much when the quarterback has more rushing yards than the running back.
Yeah.
Right.
It's true. I mean, at the end of the day, we can talk all about this defense, which I think is going to be great next year. We can talk about, and by the way, I'd rather have, if you tell me, could you have Le'Veon Bell or
Earl Thomas.
Or Earl Thomas plus Ingram.
Yeah, that's the difference.
I would take that combination over.
Yep.
Over
that's like a
Le'Veon
fantasy.
Bell.
Totally agree.
But at the end of the day, it's going to come down to how good is Lamar Jackson.
Sure.
Right?
It
For our
is.
success.
Yes. Probably.
Right. I mean,
Probably. There's always the chance. It's been a long time since we've seen it, but you think of the early 2000 Ravens and stuff, those great defenses where they carry a bad offense.
Yeah, you think our defense is that good?
I don't right now.
We have issues with rushing the passer,
right?
The front,
right. I'm waiting to see what they do, and especially but we're such an offensive, such a pass-happy league right now that I love Earl Thomas back there, Tavon Young, Tony Jefferson. I love these guys in the backfield.
Yeah.
Oh, and we got rid of or dropped Crabtree, John Brown.
Yeah.
So who's left? Willie Snead is the only one right now.
We got Willie Snead and Moore.
Chris Moore.
Yeah, Chris Moore.
And they re-signed Nick Boyle.
Yeah. A good blocker.
Yeah.
Got to have those blocking tight ends.
Well, with this team we're going to.
And Jaden Hurst hopefully will take that next step. I think a lot depends
I thought it was interesting. If Hayden Hurst was the number 1 draft pick for the Ravens, right? He came in before Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. And then we traded back to get Lamar. Yeah.
And he's going to be coming into his second year next year, but we still need to sign a veteran tight end for a 3-year contract. I don't know. What is it about Hayden Hurst that he should not be the starting tight end next year?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it.
He
didn't play much this year.
That's the problem. He showed nothing this year,
And
so he showed no
Andrews,
reason for us to trust him.
And Andrews was in the 3rd round or 4th round, and he outplayed Hayden Hurst. Yeah. So you hope Hayden Hurst,
potential bust.
Right. The big question.
Maybe, and I remember one of his knocks too was he's an older guy. He's like 25, come out of the draft too. So Hayden Hurst, let's get this thing rolling.
And now
this year.
it's to watch.
Number 1 pick on it.
Now it's to watch with the other free agents out there, and as we get ready for the draft, it's what do they do with that offensive line? What do they do as far as linebackers to replace Mosley and all that?
And wide receiver,
And I don't even know if we need a wide receiver the way Lamar throws the ball.
Looking through the Ravens looking through their own crystal ball to see that they're going to get somebody like Mark Andrews late and end up re-signing Nick Boyle for 3 more years. There's no way they take a tight end.
No,
probably not.
No. But I forgot his name already. No. Tim Tebow.
It's Tim Tebow.
Josh's ears perked up.
Yeah. You see.
What if Tim Tebow and Joe Flacco were in the same room? What would Josh do? He would probably just pass out.
Has Tim Tebow been cut yet by the Mets?
Ooh, good question.
I think he was demoted. I think he was.
I would hope so.
Yeah, I think he was demoted.
Why would you hope that?
He'll be back.
Because I don't think he's ready yet.
That's so mean. He's not ready yet.
Hey, if Austin Hayes isn't ready, Tim Tebow's not ready.
Yeah, 6 days ago, undeterred by his move to the minors.
He's always undeterred by anything that happens to him.
That's right.
I want
Perseverance.
I want Tim Tebow for once to be deterred by something. Have something to deter him. Have something happen to him, and him be like, "Screw it, I'm done." That's what I want to see happen.
Yeah.
You want to see him quit,
Yeah, be a little more human. I would have quit.
right?
Be like me. Comments from the chat room. I don't know. There's some comments there.
What are you doing?
Dave said
you don't go to the chat room unless you actually have something in there to say.
Well, I was going to
You
say
don't have to
something.
point it out.
I was going, but then what am I going to read? Hi guys. No, I'm going to read that chat room.
Right, that's why you don't go to the chat room.
No, but I want to mention this from the chat room because I did want to mention this one, and then I thought, well, let me start at the top, and then I was like, no, let me not start at the top. Dave says, so that won't be on the podcast? No, Dave, that will be on the podcast. The reading of my brackets, or I will not do another 336 show as long as I live.
It's tradition.
That's where I draw the line. My reading of the brackets airs on the podcast for the first 10 minutes of the show, or I'm done.
And if you don't like
I
it,
I have small demands.
There's that 30-second skip button.
Yeah, hit that skip button.
Hit it like 10 times in a row.
Yeah.
No, don't really.
I was going to say, what's that, 3 minutes?
That's why I skipped
No,
the ads.
5 minutes.
Yeah, skip the ads.
Yeah.
All right, that's enough Ravens talk.
One more thing on football. You buying the hype for the Cleveland Browns this year?
Oh, all aboard the Cleveland Brown train.
Yeah, they'll be good.
I heard they already won the Super Bowl next year. Did they already win it?
I don't see it happening.
Right, I've already purchased my championship T-shirt.
The
Browns gonna brown.
The Browns are now favorites to win the division. I don't know how the Browns react to actual expectations.
Yeah.
Also, people are assuming that this quarterback,
Yeah, that's my biggest thing.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield,
You ever heard of a sophomore slump?
is legit. And I'm not sure if I want to crown him yet.
Yeah, I mean, Colin Kaepernick went to the Super Bowl as a rookie. Where is he now?
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
I legitimately don't know. I
Right.
legitimately do not know the answer to your
didn't-
question. He could literally be anywhere.
And didn't Tyreek Hill just get his suspension, 8 games?
Not
That's
Tyreek
not
Hill.
Tyreek Hill.
Oh, that was
You're confusing your people who beat people.
All right, sorry. I
Kamar
got the
Hunt,
other,
Kareem Hunt.
But yeah, I
Gotcha.
wouldn't like. But speaking of the Chiefs, he's not Baker Mayfield's not Patrick Mahomes.
No.
Mahomes.
No, Mahomes is better.
Yeah. So I think Baker Mayfield, the jury's a little bit still out on him. But I mean, their weapons are legit.
How many interceptions does Earl Thomas catch off Baker Mayfield next year?
Well, he's going to need to catch a bunch if they want to beat the Browns.
All right, let's get into some baseball.
Okay.
Let's talk Orioles.
Okay.
It's baseball season. As much as the NFL wants to make excitement for 1 week, 3-4 days, now it's baseball season where we get to talk the fact that Chris Davis didn't strike out yesterday.
Walked twice and had a single.
Got a couple walks, a single, and some hard hit outs.
That's what you call progress.
Chris
boys.
Davis said he struck out all the time at the beginning of spring training because he was just seeing balls. He said he just wanted. That was his quote. I just wanted to see balls.
Really?
No, I think he said I was just want to see a bunch of pitches.
Do you remember?
So he said I didn't swing because I just want to see some switches.
I called that on the podcast.
That's what he said.
I said if I was Chris Davis, I would troll all of Orioles Twitter by just standing up there and watching balls.
That's what he said he was doing. He's like, I'm just seeing pitches.
That's exactly.
I was like, why are you just seeing pitches? Like, go in the batting
I
cage
told
and see
you
pitches.
that's how you do it.
Yeah.
I like that.
But now he's starting to actually, play. So that's why his numbers are going
How
up.
hilarious would it be if suddenly Chris Davis, like the next 2 weeks of spring training or a week and a half, whatever's left.
Hold on. Did you say he walked twice today?
Once.
That was yesterday, I think. But yeah.
Yesterday.
So
He
to me,
didn't
that
play
still
today.
soun's like he's just up there seeing pitches.
Well, no, he also.
Because
He also
if you
got
just
a
go
hit.
up there to see pitches,
Yeah.
you're either going to walk or strike out.
That's true. That's fair. That's true.
But he also got a hit and 2 hard hits.
And if he was just seeing pitches, how many of those strikeouts were swinging strikeouts?
I don't think any of them were.
He was
don't know.
all looking?
I think most of them were looking.
Yeah.
There might
Anyway.
be data
But
on that.
I
do-
had no point to that.
I love that answer.
Yeah. So,
I guess that one home run he had early in spring training was just such a good pitch he couldn't stand it.
yeah, maybe
like,
that one at bat, he said, I'm just going to hit a home
You
run.
know, it's like when you play softball and I yell at you, don't swing. This pitcher doesn't know how to pitch. You still swing at crap because it's so boring to just stand there and watch balls.
Oh, yeah, especially in softball.
Right. But
That's so irritating. You can
I
tell
think-
when a pitcher's struggling. It's
But
just
don't
like,
you think
let's play.
Don't you think spring training is the equivalent of softball for these guys? Like games that don't matter, that they're just up there just to have fun.
I don't understand. The last 2 years, Chris Davis batted .215 and 168. And in the last 2 years, he's walked over 100 times. Who's walking Chris Davis right now?
Like, why aren't you just throwing it straight over the middle?
It's like that
Anyone-
church softball pitcher who can't
Yes.
get a strike.
Literally because you can't. That's the
Yeah.
only reason you should walk Chris Davis. Stop walking Chris Davis with that nonsense.
Well, I think it's
You should have
because
0 walks.
I think it's because like there must be a certain spot that he struggles with the ball,
You try to hit that
and
spot.
you're trying to hit that spot.
Or maybe it's a right-handed pitcher who doesn't want to pitch to a lefty and would rather walk Chris Davis so he can face Mark Trumbo.
How many times last year do you think Chris Davis took a ball for and thought it was a called strike? You know, he's just standing up there not swinging anyway.
Yeah.
Gets a walk when he thought he was struck out.
It's possible. Like, because he always waits for a second.
Right.
Like, he has no idea anything's a ball or a
It's like
strike.
he's got to wait for
He's
the
like, what is what? I don't know what to do here. Do I walk to first or walk to the bench?
Or
later
walk to third base.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing.
Right. Later, I want to get to these rules that baseball has now made some rules official. because they were. Did you see that Major League Baseball officials today were at Nats Park, or not Nats Park, but at National Spring Training
No.
to experiment with the pitchers and catchers about the catcher wearing a watch where he could tap what pitch to come, and then it tells the pitcher what to pitch, so that to try to get away from signal stealing. So they were testing using watches. I feel like our thing of the microphone in the glove made a lot more sense than watches.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a great tweet by a guy we had on the show the other day, Dylan Atkinson, who tweeted out, baseball, we need to make the games faster. Also baseball, let's give the pitcher catchers watches to text each other back and forth throughout the game.
Let's let them text.
Yeah, like, what are you doing?
Right.
The text back and forth debating the pitch.
I don't know why they couldn't just go with our microphone option.
Yeah, they want to have a way of appeasing the old timers who still want to see hand signals, and then the new timers who want there to be technology.
Right.
So they're still getting a hand signal.
But I love the idea.
It just looks like this.
I love the idea of someone from the other team like hacking the watch, so they're like calling the pitches from the dugout.
Yeah,
and it's just intercepting. Catcher's like, why do you keep pitching the wrong thing?
It could still be a watch, but a watch with a microphone, so they could be like all calling Dick Tracy.
Though I do like
throw a fastball down the
right,
Peter down the middle,
right? Because no one's going to hear that,
and they have to talk like old timey cops.
No, if you're gonna do that, you might as well do a Get Smart style and have the cleat be also a phone.
Yeah, right.
Though I'm a fan when the catchers paint their nails, and that might take away the pain of the nails.
But I am a fan of them trying all this weird stuff at spring training.
I love weird stuff.
I love weird stuff in baseball.
I'm just waiting for the pitcher's watch to blow up, and he responds, "New number, who dis?" And it'll be relevant because the pitcher just had to change his jersey number.
Yeah, and
new number, who dis?
How's that switch when they bring in a new catcher? What do you have to give me my other watch?
It also could be a factor. Let's say the number's released at an away game, and all the fans get the number. All the fans start texting the catcher,
and that could be like a in between innings promotion up on the thing. Text this to tell Matt Wieters what you really think about him.
Yeah, exactly. What pitch should he throw next?
I still think Matt Wieters is on this team. He's been going for a while now.
Yeah.
Who's our catcher again?
Well, we just got a guy for more international signing money. We just got a new catcher.
Cool.
Breaking news right before the show. You probably didn't see that yet.
No, I was going to show you guys. Have you seen this? Speaking of MLB experimenting, have you seen that shot?
The new
camera?
camera.
The ump cam.
That's pretty cool.
I love the ump cam, especially. Like, if we could go back to, like, Buck Showalter and the umps getting in a big fight, I want that ump cam.
Before they just threw the red flag. Or
Right. Before challenges.
Tap their
or
wrists.
whatever you call it, yeah.
They should be able to text the umpire.
You see A.J. Hinch was tossed from a spring training game.
I love it. Love it.
Did you hear him talk about it?
No.
He said, because Angel Hernandez, who's infamous for being terrible at his job.
Yes.
And he said, all he said was, A.J., he made a bad call. And A.J. Hinch called him over and said, listen, because A.J. Hinch's Astros, they're all about sabermetrics. He told Angel Hernandez, he said, we have some technology that can really help you become better at your job.
Oh,
that's a burn.
And Angel Hernandez apparently did not take kindly to that and said some inappropriate words to
that's awesome.
To A.J. Hinch. So I thought that was pretty funny.
That's good. I like that burn.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I want to get to the Austin Hayes story.
Right. So Austin Hayes has been pretty hot at spring training.
Here's his numbers.
280, right?
Batting average 351.
351, all right.
On base 385. 5 dongs. 9 extra base hits. Only struck out 7 times in 40 plate appearances. Also has played a really good outfield. It's worth noting.
All right.
And that
sounds good.
He was sent down in favor of presumably Cedric Mullins, who's had a terrible spring training. Joey Rickard, who's been in Fuego.
Joey Rickard.
Yeah, Joey Rickard's having a Jake Fox caliber.
And Eric Young Jr., don't let the junior deceive you. He's old. But they cut Austin Hayes.
And they say it has nothing to do with service time.
0 to do. The quote was 0.
Yeah.
0. Yeah. You guys thoughts on Austin Hayes being cut? Are you guys okay with this?
He came up last year, did he not play a few games?
Year. No, that was 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Last year he was hurt, so he didn't play much of anything, even in the minors, because he was hurt. So I understand that's probably why they made the cut. But Austin Hayes was looking really good, and I was excited about seeing Austin Hayes up in the majors. But I think we all kind of knew going into spring training, we knew that it was going to be a small chance of Austin Hayes making it.
Yeah, I don't think it's not a matter of the clock ticking, right? Because it already started 2 years ago. You said came up.
He's got an option, yeah.
Yeah, but again, you could if you held him down in the minors for like 2 or 3 months, you would get an extra year out of him.
Okay. Well, then that seems more reasonable to me.
Right, then it sounds like a clock, whether you want to say...
No, they said it's not.
Well, but when you put it that way, it makes sense.
So, I mean, I totally... Well, they've probably seen the backlash the Blue Jays are getting for saying, we're not bringing up Vlad because of the clock. So they're not going to publicly say it's because of the clock. But when you're not going to do anything this year, why not save him for another year? Okay. Of course, do it for the clock.
That's what I would lean towards.
Okay, fine. Drink the orange Kool-Aid. I think this is outrageous. I would like to refer you to February 20th. February 20th, I just made up a date. But sometime in February.
You're talking about where he said it's an open competition.
Here's the quote Hyde said. It's a great opportunity for everybody in camp. There's a lot of jobs to be won. I don't really think anything is set in stone. Fast forward to yesterday or 2 days ago when Hayes was cut. Hyde said this. The same man says this. We're going to always do what's best for the player. When it's a prospect-type player, their development is the most important thing. When you're talking about some of those guys, you're talking about guys who, in our eyes, haven't quite finished their development. So in 1 month, he's saying there's an open competition for the best players. Hayes literally plays the best.
Yeah.
Then you say, no, this is about player development. Well, then don't say it's about open competition. And Mike Elias was worse. Mike Elias says it was about spring training stats don't matter. Well, then why would you say all this crap about open competition and that spring's really important and a great opportunity for guys, and then say we have other ways to measure this stuff? Spring training doesn't matter.
They're saying spring training games don't matter.
Or the stats. And therefore the stats don't matter.
But whatever they're doing out of the games,
oh, yeah.
they're saying now that matters.
Yeah, their swing angle.
So you're assuming...
whatever they're doing at practices.
You're assuming the open competition is a major league spot.
Yeah.
But he didn't outright say that.
What else would you be competing for?
To just even make it on single A, double A.
So he didn't play well enough to make it in the majors, even though he had the best numbers out of anybody. Right. He just played well enough to make it to AAA.
I mean, well, then if that's the case, the guys with the worst numbers shouldn't make the team either.
Yeah, I agree. So like Cedric Mullins should have made. No, you know what? I don't even care. Because if you go just by spring training, Cedric Mullins should be in the minors and Austin Hayes should be the starting center fielder. But fine, don't do it that way. But don't tell me it's an open competition, and then don't tell me Mike Elias that had zero to do with his clock. Because if it was all even,
because the timing works out way too easy.
If it was all now, he does. We'll see how long he stays down there. If he just stays down there for 2 weeks and comes up, then I was wrong. It wasn't about the clock. But if he stays down there for 2 months or whatever it is, and then comes up, then it is about the clock. But don't tell me that has zero factor in any decisions that you make. We all know, like we're not idiots. We all know that service time matters with young players,
especially when you're
treat us like morons.
Especially when you're in a rebuild.
Maybe he was just being indirect, not wishy-washy, but he was just being indirect when he answered those questions.
Right.
They're not being.
And of course, Rat Kubako,
company man.
Someone tweeted. They said it's disappointing, but it's also good that we'll have. It's about having control over his service time. What someone tweeted at Rock, and Rock said, "Not if you read Elias's quotes." So again, Rock standing up for the man there. Yep. You gotta love that.
Well, then I say get rid of all of them. Get rid of Hyde. Get rid of Elias, because if they're not going to be honest with the fans, they shouldn't be here.
I agree. I'm glad finally, Bert, we agree on something.
Yeah.
Oh, were you being sarcastic?
I just want somebody that's going to tell the media, the fans, and the general public every single step of every plan and decision that they make.
No, I don't.
We deserve to know.
No, to be honest, you know what? I don't care about that. I do care, and we talked about this before. I do care about the media's reaction to it, and how no one's questioned this.
Right.
I think it should be questioned how, if you're kind of the hottest hitter in spring training and your young, stud prospect is sent down, I think that deserves to be, questioned a little bit.
Now, there's still a chance they bring Austin Hayes up if someone's not ready for the majors, or if Trumbo's not healthy enough for opening day, or something like that. Is Santander still? He's done his Rule 5 status, right? So they don't have
As far as I know.
So they don't have to keep him down. Is there any outfielder that they're being forced to carry because of Rule 5 stuff? Or do they just have pitchers?
Unless you want to call that Jackson guy because he plays everywhere.
Because he's having a hot spring as well. Drew Jackson. I thought he was a shortstop.
Yeah, he plays everywhere.
Okay. Are they looking at him for the outfield?
He's played center in spring training.
Okay. So maybe that's part of it, is they're looking at bringing that guy up.
Yeah. I mean, it's a matter of spots, right? And you're choosing to go with Eric Young Jr. It looks like right now Joey Rickett and Cedric Mullins over Austin Hayes.
Right. And the one that stands out to you right there is Cedric Mullins, because he's having such a bad spring. He's batting like 125. Like I think Chris Davis might have a better batting average than Cedric Mullins.
Yikes!
This spring.
Nobody wants that title.
So I'm sure that's the one that stands out. But I wonder, I don't know, is there any hesitation of we need to leave Chris Davis in because the fans already crowned him as like Adam Jones' replacement?
Cedric Mullins. Yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, certainly everyone knew he had the fast track
right
to start. And honestly, he's a guy I think you care less about your service time because he's not the highly rated prospect that Hayes is. So I don't think they foresee him as the starting center fielder in 3 years anyway.
Yes.
So who cares if he's playing there now?
He's
right.
I mean, the Orioles have been aggressive, and he is faster. He's getting some stolen bases down in Sarasota. So it could be that type of move as well.
All right. I just want to make, and then I'll let the media go. I just want to make this point about the media. All right. Rock Kubaco in his article.
You sound like Trump calling out the media. You got a little obsession over there.
Rock Kubaco in his article.
Yeah.
Mentioned Hayes being cut. In his article about Hayes being cut.
Yeah. I read it this morning.
Here's what he says about Hayes being, because mostly, when this is how Rock does, it's mostly like blurbs, right? Quotes from other people. But then he had this sentence in his own words. Hayes has seemed to create, out of the cuts, the biggest uproar among fans on social media after batting .351, .385, .892 in 12 games with 3 doubles, a triple, 5 home runs. He also ran and fielded exceptionally well, but had to pack his bags this morning. And he hedges that with not like the move that didn't make the most sense, or the move that maybe we should question a little bit. No, he says the move that created the biggest uproar among social media. As if like social media is a bunch of these fringy, nutty people.
So he's back to the dude,
isn't it?
Yeah, but like that's not the only people upset about Austin Hayes. Like reasonable people can be annoyed that Austin Hayes was sent down.
Yeah, don't you think there should be a guy with a microphone amongst the other guys with microphones and gals with microphones in Brandon Hyde's face when he says a quote like that about doing what's best for the player, when they can immediately come back and say, well, actually, Coach, on February 20th, you said it's open competition. So how do you justify cutting the guy who literally beat everybody at everything in every stat?
Right. We all
when
know
it's supposed to be an open competition.
Right. We all know how open competitions go. We've all been through high school sports, college sports with open tryouts. And if you have real open tryouts, it's who does the best.
Unless,
so not Austin Hayes,
unless the one guy's older brother was a varsity star.
But we've always learned from high school that there's always but if the coach likes you, but if you were a veteran, even if you're being outplayed.
But if your mom is in charge of the class musical.
Right. So the question is, what is Cedric Mullins' mom up to?
But I'll say this, there's one person in the media who actually has some...
Dan Connolly?
No, who actually has some chutzpah here. Who actually asked a tough question, won't roll over like a puppy and just say, yes, sir. No, John Mioli is a puppet.
I'm just trying to think of guys who don't work for the Orioles or MLB.
No, this guy works for MLB, but he's new here, so no one knows about him. Joe Trezza.
Yeah,
Trezza.
Yeah, he's here just to write a book.
We need to get that guy on the podcast. Because here's what he said. He said, I shouldn't be saying this like right when we're doing the show. I should have said this like, hey, 2 days ago.
That would have been helpful.
Get this guy on the podcast.
Yeah, somebody else is going to get him.
No, but he tweeted, so how much competition was there actually in Oriole Spring Training? You decide. And then he quotes Mike Elias And this is Mike Elias talking. He said, "In no way do we want to jeopardize any part of their development just to have a pure tryout based on spring training at bats. I learned, and the evidence bears out, the real full season minor league statistics have little more predictive information than spring training stats." So apparently this wasn't an open tryout at all, and Mike Elias just said it there. And good for Joe Trezza, call him out. Joe Trezza can call him out because he's new here. He doesn't know that we usually just roll over and say whatever management wants us to say and kind of repeat that mantra. You know, what's one of my favorite things
I'm sorry, Joe, if you get your press pass taken away when the season starts.
Yeah. You and Nestor can hang out. No, so I don't know this guy Joe at all, but I'm now a big Joe Trezza fan. He's the one. I unfollowed everybody else. I only follow Joe Trezza now.
All right.
So take that for what it's worth about this whole open spring training type deal, type nonsense. So I don't really care about Austin Hayes. I'm annoyed with how it's been covered. Oh, you know what's one of my favorite things? Listening to people, the reporters talk about how they talk about spring training as being different and better, though they'll never use the word better. They mean better, while also making sure not to insult Buck Showalter. They're doing freaking verbal gymnastics.
They all loved Buck Showalter.
To compliment Buck Showalter while also saying this year it's completely different and better without Buck Showalter.
Right, it's way more laid back.
Oh, really?
Guys are having fun.
I haven't noticed that.
Yeah, not that it was bad before. It's just different. And by different, we mean better.
Right.
So that's always entertaining, too. What do we got? How much spring training we got left? I mean,
Like 10 days?
This is like the grind of spring training. Like, let's get we're down to 39 players. Let's find out what our roster is, and let's get started. We do have a problem.
Opening day is 10 days away.
Okay, and
what's spring training normally ends like 2 days before that?
Yeah.
So we're about a week.
Right now, as of right now, the Orioles have only one guy for sure making the trip to Baltimore.
According to Brandon Hyde.
Alex Cobb,
who's
the opening day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's the only guy officially. But I have a feeling that Cashner will be on there, too.
Yeah, because Cashner looked good today. And you know what? Going out on a limb, I think Chris Davis is going to make this team.
Yeah, I think that's a safe bet. Unless he twists his oblique or something again, which tends to happen.
The last spring training game is a week from today, next Monday, the 25th.
Okay.
Against the New York Mets.
All right, so if we got Cashner and Cobb, and we got Davis at first, is Mancini? He's a lock for left field, right?
Yes, unless Trumbo's for some reason is not ready, and then he would switch down to the DH.
Right, so we've got Trumbo, and we've got Mancini.
By the way, Elias and Hyde have talked a lot about defense. How can you talk about defense and still play Mancini in left field? Even though it was our idea.
He's the face of the franchise.
On Section 36 to move him to the outfield. We take full credit for that. It was actually my suggestion.
You're welcome.
We were way out on that, asking him to work out there before the Orioles.
Yep, and then all of a sudden the Orioles were working out. Hello, Orioles. We know you're listening.
Right. Didn't we even
in the warehouse?
Didn't we tell Mancini that before he even went to the outfield?
I gave advice. I was like, hey, if you're smart, you would start getting ready for outfield.
All right. Well, and especially, why wouldn't you have Mancini in that first base DH role when we've got all these outfielders?
And you know Trumbo's not part of the future.
Right.
So I think Mancini's in left field until Trumbo is either moved or cut. I would be surprised if Trumbo finishes the season.
I would assume they got to be hoping Trumbo's going to have a great season so they can move him fast.
Or a terrible season so you can cut him and move on.
Yeah. All right, so Mancini in left. Mullins, I guess, is in center, and Rickert's in right?
Yeah, I'm curious to see how they're going to rock that. I could see a different scenario every night. Like, depending on righty-lefty matchups and all that, I could see a different combination of that outfield every night.
True.
I think long-term, Austin Hayes is your center fielder.
Right. I just don't think he'll be on the team opening day.
Right, but he's coming soon.
Sure.
And so I wonder if you want to start getting Mullins comfortable with playing
with
other
right field.
positions.
Why? Well, I mean, yeah, I guess so.
So
why not try Mullins in right? Because we've seen Rickert play center. Rickert can handle center.
He can.
So you could always put Mullins in right field and put Rickert in center.
I think there's going to be.
I love the idea of rethinking this with fresh eyes, and I would like to see real fresh eyes. Like, just because Mullins has been center
like
field,
a baby, fresh to the world.
Right? No, like
it's bright out here.
Like, just because Mullins played center field, maybe he doesn't have to be in center field. Maybe he doesn't even have to make this team. we know second base is Villar, right?
Yeah, the other guy in the outfield, I don't know where he fits, is Dwight Smith Jr. I don't know where he fits.
I thought he's going to be
Hit a home
shortstop.
run today.
No, Dwight Smith Jr. is an outfielder.
All right, so now we've got. So if we're just looking at outfield,
You got Eric Young Jr. too? But Eric Young Jr., he's not on the 40-man. You got to make room for him.
right. So
If he makes it.
So right now in this crazy outfield, leaving Trumbo out of that outfield, we still have Dwight Smith Jr., Eric Young Jr., Trey Mancini, Cedric Mullins, Joey Rickert, and that's leaving out Austin Hayes, who's on the fast track.
Right.
So that's 6-7 outfielders.
Right.
And that's not counting, what's his name, the shortstop who can also play outfield.
Yeah, Drew Jackson, yeah.
Drew Jackson, yeah. Because if they want to keep on like a Rule 5 guy like Richie Martin, they're going to need a place for Drew Jackson, who's having a great spring.
Yeah, and you thought Richie Martin was on fire, but then all of a sudden he can't hit.
Right.
He can't hit a thing, and so I wonder maybe Jackson's your starting shortstop. So I think that's still an open question who your starting shortstop is.
Yeah, I agree.
So there's still, I mean, here's what I think I know. There's still a lot of questions. What the Austin Hayes thing tells me is that we're going to be really bad.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to be even worse.
But
the closer we get to the season, the worse I think we're going to be.
Yeah. But isn't this Austin Hayes move? Isn't it also a move of, hey, we've got 7 guys out here that we want to try out in the outfield, but you're the future, so we want you to be playing every day. So go in the minors where you can play every day.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. And the thing about Austin, like, you can definitely make an argument that Austin Hayes should not make this team because last year he missed, like, the whole entire season.
Right.
He's never played AAA. He's only played, like, half a season at AA. So he lacks just that bats and experiences in minors. Like, make that argument. But if that's the case, I don't know why he was out with the Major League club so long. Like, I would have sent him down a while ago saying, hey, you know, you just don't have really any realistic chance of making this team.
Part of it is to get him experience and get him around those big league guys. And part of it is spring training for minor leagues starts a few weeks later.
Right, but
So,
Diaz
get him
and
at bats.
Mountcastle were cut earlier,
That's
and they were
true.
still
They were
brought
cut
back
a week or two early.
But Mountcastle played today, so you can
True.
still bring him back.
You're right. I don't know.
Yeah.
Bring him back.
And
Don't
that's-
get me started on the starting rotation
I mean-
right now. Starting rotation's an absolute joke. I guarantee. You know what I can almost guarantee? Some team is going to cut someone or put someone or DFA someone,
and we're gonna find someone.
and we're
else.
going to swoop up and pick it up because I can't imagine
It looks like
that we're going with Mike Wright and David Hess right now. I can't imagine a world
Right.
where Mike Wright and David Hess are starting pitchers.
That world was last year.
Yeah.
You're right.
Do you think we go opener? The way these guys are pitching,
No, because I think that
means
would
you
be
got
dumb.
that means you got to carry an extra pitcher, right?
Why would you do an opener? You would go with opener if you're like trying to win or something. We're trying to find no, but seriously,
Right.
we're trying to find starting pitchers.
Okay.
So why would you do an opener when you're trying to find
I don't
starting
know.
pitchers?
So you're going to retread David Hess and Mike Wright
And Josh
Possibly,
Rogers.
yeah.
and Josh Rogers,
And you're going to lose 160 games in the process.
and I think
Alex
that
Cobb will win 2. We'll lose the rest.
that could be your 5-6 guys to start in April, and I think by May one of those bottom guys is down, and you're bringing someone else up, and I think those 4 and 5 slots. I mean, Cobb, Cashner, Bundy. All right, that'll last for the year, maybe. You could also easily trade those guys if they're having good years in July. So I think we're going to see a lot of fluctuation in our rotation this year.
Yeah, but Josh, you're going to see fluctuations, but it's going to be bum for bum. Bum for bum.
Yeah.
There's
Bum
no
for
Austin
bum.
Hayes coming
No.
up. There's no Yusniel Diaz coming up this year
No.
and helping your pitching staff.
No,
You're
it's
gonna
going
see
to be
bumps over bumps.
try you out.
Yeah, but people who've already been tried out, retreads who have to make another appearance to show them what they got.
Except for the guys that we got from the trades last year. Those guys would be new tries.
Dylan Tate and Luis Ortiz.
Josh Rogers, Zach Pop.
Yeah, they all suck anew.
Yeah, Suckanew.
Keegan Aiken, I don't know what happened to him. I don't know what the deal with Keegan Aiken is. He's a question mark for me. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about him in spring training. And I mean, I don't think he's on the 40-man. So maybe that's why. I don't know if he's hurt or whatever, but he's the guy who had a really good year last year. It's a lefty, and that would not be a retread. That's actually be, I don't know, prospect might be too strong of a word. But other than that, I mean, who are we talking about here? We're just talking about a bunch of retreads and jokes and the pitching staff. And until we address that, so you got to hope that maybe like Nate Carnes turns into something. or I don't know, like maybe Josh Rogers. Josh Rogers seemed to be, by the way, a really likable kid. I don't know if you heard any interviews with him. But
He's offered to come on here.
Oh yeah, that doesn't surprise me because he seems to be a really likable kid.
Nice.
Yeah, so he may be a guy we talk to soon.
All right. Him and Joe Trezza.
All right, I'll reach out to Joe Trezza for you.
Yeah, that guy asked a tough question. You know who asked about Mike Elias about did this have anything to do with service time?
Joe Trezza.
Joe Trezza. He's the only guy that asked that.
Like I've heard that somewhere.
Yeah.
All right, so Major League Baseball did make some rules official. I feel like this is like our third week straight talking about rules.
Yeah, but now it's official.
But that's what happens during spring training. So they did officially say, beginning in 2020, pitchers will be required to face a minimum of 3 batters. Of course,
2020?
if the season doesn't end
Isn't
or whatever.
this 2019 right now?
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is
next
2019.
year.
So next year.
I hate this nonsense. Make the rule and go.
Yeah,
All right.
why state? Stop.
All right,
Start.
stop. All right. Also, in 2020, they're going to limit mound visits from 6 to 5. Or no, that's this year. With talks of next year dropping it to 4.
Good.
I'm fine. Cut it to 3. I don't care. All right. Also, starting this year, there's a single trade deadline, July 31st. So it gets rid of like the waiver trade and all that.
That starts this year?
That starts this year.
Cool.
So I like that. All-Star Game Election Day starting this summer. So what that is they narrow all the voting down to 3 guys for each position.
Mm-hmm.
And then on one day, there's a 24-hour vote-in where you can vote for which of these top 3 guys for each position get the All-Star Game.
What happens when a Russian hacker gets in and messes with our All-Star game?
Then Ovechkin somehow plays center field. It's required. I don't know. I like the idea. I like the idea of mixing it up. If we can't have the hanging chads anymore and we got to do internet voting, at least do something a little bit fun like this.
I don't care.
All right. Home Run and Derby now pays $1 million to the winner.
You sign me up.
Okay.
That's the whole point, is to get stars to do it.
Is it true that on Birdland Radio, the wiffle ball competition has a $10,000 winner?
You know, I have not even worked in a home run derby into the wiffle ball tournament. We got to have a home run derby.
Yeah, with the $1 million prize.
I'm just hoping to make contact.
Yeah, some sponsor wants to put up the $1 million prize or the $10 prize, and we'll be good. All right, the commercial breaks between innings or during innings will be shortened by 20 seconds. So they were 2 minutes 20 in between innings.
Did that start this year?
In between the top and the bottom. Now they are 2 minutes.
That's the step in the right direction.
So we're going to have to play, thank God I'm a country boy, just a little bit faster.
But it's not like, I'm surprised baseball isn't, we'll do it 1 second shorter for the next 20 years, because that's more baseball style. So good for them for doing it next year, or this year.
Gotcha. Position players will be prohibited from pitching in games that don't go into extra innings, unless a team is ahead or behind by at least 8 runs.
What?
I don't even know why you have to make this a rule. That just seems like common sense.
Why would you ever put in a position player to pitch
if you
when you're not up by more than 8
or
runs?
when you're not so deep into extra innings that you have no pitchers?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
Unless you had like a 22-20 game.
Yeah, but he's saying 22-20. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but at that point you're in extra innings.
No, but
not
if it happened in
necessarily.
regular innings.
Okay.
And you run out of pitchers.
That's like both teams just suck that bad.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That would be amazing.
That'd be a lot of fun to be at that game.
That'd be like Orioles versus
I don't
Orioles.
understand why it
David
has to be a
pitched.
rule like it's a problem. Like, is
Right.
somebody abusing that? Like, who
That's
cares?
true. That's what I want to know.
Are they nervous about like using Shohei Ohtani in weird ways or something?
Call me crazy, but people lose their minds when a position player pitches. Like, it's
Right.
the greatest thing in the
That's
world.
great. Yeah, it's a
Why
good
take
thing.
that away from us?
You should require
the game's
teams to
boring
do it.
enough as it
You
is.
should say,
The rule should be at 8 runs.
You have to put in
in a
players.
position
Yes.
player. That should
if
be
it
the
goes
rule.
in extra innings, forget the run at second base.
What
Put
a horrible
Put
rule.
in a positional player.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah, I like
if that ever comes into play, I'm walking out of the stadium because you have lost my money.
No, you're not, because there's going to be a position player on the mound. You're going to watch. Committee will be appointed by the commissioner office and the union to discuss the game's economic concerns.
That's not a rule.
Doesn't affect me.
That's just a thing saying,
Boring.
hey, we're trying not to get into a strike. All right, the minimum time a player spent on the injured list, the IL,
Not the
will
DL.
be increased back to 15 days from 10 days. Buck Showalter wouldn't have liked that rule.
Didn't they just change it to 10 like
Yeah.
3 weeks ago? Now they're making it 15?
Everyone
More
took-
than it used to be?
Everyone took advantage
It
of
used
it.
to be 12, didn't it?
So
I thought it was a 14-day.
Was
I
it
don't
always
know.
15-day DL?
Yeah, I think it was 15. Then they went to 10,
10.
and everyone took advantage. And all right, finally,
Yeah, God forbid.
this is the
Too
best. This is the
stupid.
best one, but it doesn't begin until 2020.
Yeah.
All teams
Until they
will
change
have
their
a
mind,
28-man roster in the month of September, and a 26-man roster during the rest of the season. So none of this bringing up your entire 40-man.
That's smart.
None of this 50 people in the bullpen.
Yeah.
28 people total.
Good.
So I like
Cool.
that.
Good.
Until they change it back next year because they can't
Yeah.
keep a rule for more
Yeah.
than a
Right.
week.
Why would you announce a rule a year ahead of time unless you want it to get outraged and
Right,
be
right.
able to change your mind?
Right, you're announcing the rule a
To
year
see how
out
people react.
to see, and not even people. It's got to be all about games at the players' union saying, "Hey, we weren't making this rule, but we're not doing it this year."
I'm making my own fan rules. If Chris Davis strikes out more than once in a game, I'm leaving, even if we're winning.
What if he just strikes out looking more than once?
Right.
Hey,
If we give up a run to the opponent in the first inning, I'm leaving.
hey, how about this? And we'll end on this note. The Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp minor league team.
Uh-huh.
You hear about this?
No, I'm Googling it.
I don't know.
On July 26th, they're going to have Florida Man Night.
Oh,
Wait, is it a Florida Man bobblehead?
It's a double A affiliate of the Miami Marlins. They're being right now pretty tight-lipped about the promotion, but they did promise they will break a Florida law, every single inning. They're gonna break a Florida law.
That's
Isn't
awesome.
that the greatest
That is
promotion
brilliant.
ever? Florida
Yeah.
Man Day.
Yeah.
Or
When
Florida
is
Man
this?
Night.
July
Okay,
26th.
all right, so Florida Man. See, I'm thinking Marlin Man.
Oh no, Florida! You know how
Yeah,
every
like
insane
stupid
story,
Florida people.
Yeah, it starts with Florida
All right,
Man.
I like Florida Man too, but I also like if they could they kill Marlin Man at Florida Man Night?
I don't know.
Well, this is in Jacksonville. It's quite
Yeah.
a bit of a
Are you gonna
distance
be
from
able to get-
Miami.
Yeah,
What did you
gotta
see?
get those tickets, Bert.
So I'm looking at my calendar. I'm in Florida.
You break
July
a law every
26th.
inning. You guys are gonna be doing like meth between the third inning,
And-
that's all the Florida Man stories are usually involving meth.
And
or
just think of
being
all the
drunk.
guys that get to walk in there. Looks like a bunch of lawbreakers up in here. Oh, it's the dream. And it's a Friday night. Oh, I am planning to go to Jacksonville that night. I think it's only like a 2.5 hour
I
drive.
want you to live stream the whole thing.
Oh, this is amazing. I'm putting it on my calendar.
Put it on your calendar. Florida Man.
But what you guys missed is, did you see the announcements by the Norfolk Tide and the Shorebirds today?
They are not having Florida Man night.
No, they're doing these like Spanish nights or whatever.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah, yeah.
And it's some awesome jerseys. Like that one, Matt, is what they're. I'll just put it up here for the camera. That's what, I don't know what that is, Certa or
Yeah.
whatever,
Penguin?
is what they're doing for the Tide. And the Shorebirds, which is close by,
Yeah,
we should go to Shorebirds.
my backyard.
The Gallos de Del Marva. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong.
We should do
But-
Gallo said Del Marva.
But the little rooster, the rooster hat looks pretty cool.
All right, well, you know how I love me some good hats.
All right. Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp Florida Man night, July 26th is on my calendar.
How far is Jacksonville from Orlando?
About 2 hours from where I
Oh,
stay.
you can make that drive.
Totally, yeah.
Totally.
And it's a weekend. I'll stay in Jacksonville all weekend and go to the beach or something.
Well, you probably need to after Friday night when you do a bunch of illegal things.
Right, all the
I'm
illegal.
not sure you'd be in any condition.
Might
to
be
go
spending
back
the weekend
home.
in jail.
Well, I think you can get away with it, though. I don't know. Will police be on hand at Florida Man Night? All right, boys and girls. Thanks for listening to another successful edition of Section 336. You can follow us on Twitter. You can follow me at Section 336 for all my cool gifts of Jonah Ark, or whoever that tweet was. Who's the big Jonah?
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill.
Joan of Arc.
I don't know. Or you can follow Bert on Twitter. Bert?
At Burt Rohde.
Or you can follow Josh on Twitter.
At Josh Soroka. Birdland Radio, 2 weeks away.
Birdland Radio, 2 weeks. Also, you can follow Birdland Radio on Twitter for all the updates on Birdland Radio. We got like 50 shows coming out.
That's a bunch.
Yeah. All right, boys and girls, thanks for listening. And as always, go O's. And go Belmont. And go Flames.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to the Section 336 podcast. Please go to iTunes and Facebook for all complaints or the occasional compliment. If I were you, I would not take any baseball advice from these guys. Josh and Matt were raised by an Orioles-obsessed father, and Bert fell in love with Don Mattingly. He has a thing for mustaches.